boy! Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light. All the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander Worf, don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for people.
What can I do? People no longer love the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
What's true? That's why we gotta shine a light. Oh, shine a light, shine a light. We gotta shine a light. Oh, yeah. Together forever. Yeah. Tom's Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom's Generation Next. Yeah. Tom's Generation Next. The Unity Channel. Zero News and now. Tom's Generation Next. We're gonna shine a light. Generation X.
Yo! 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 Can't do it the way I used to. I'm getting old. I'm Tom Fury and I used to be like really crazy. Anyway, I'm Tom Fury, this is Zero News. I would say a beautiful day, it looks like a beautiful day, but unlike when I was coming out yesterday going, oh, it's beautiful, it's fucking freezing. So I'm not gonna pretend different, it's horrible. But hope everybody's okay, hope you're all doing well. By the way, when I say that those aren't pleasantries, I actually do mean that. I wouldn't say it otherwise. I can't bother to say for polite conversation for the sake of it. So, well, I say I really do mean that. And I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're having a great day, no matter what you're doing. I have got itchy feet. I've been thinking about something for a long time. You know, obviously, some of you know, some of you don't know. I did a documentary in 2023 called Welcome to Southampton. If you haven't seen it, maybe I'll re-upload it. It's showing its ages now, and I never really totally finished it in terms of production because I didn't realise how good it was for its time until it was done. But I've been constantly talking about doing a part 2, which is really drastically needed because it's been, well, like I say, that was done between January and April 2023. And a lot's changed since then. And also, I've got to know the Southampton Patriots and what they've been going through. So there's a lot there. So I was like thinking, what should I do next? Because at the moment, I've not got a lot of money, so I can't go in other places in the country. Although I'm looking at Portsmouth, Bournemouth, these places, at least they're in the south. And then obviously later in the year, looking at going up north. But right for the time being, where I don't have a lot of money, it's like, well, you can make excuses, say you don't have a lot of money, but Southampton is a bus ride away. So there's no excuse there, is there? So I thought I could go and film some of the things they're doing over Southampton, the Southampton Patriots, because they are a line of defence. And I probably am and probably will, and I'll keep supporting them as time goes on. They've got my full support, still have. But what I thought might be more interesting, considering that when I was, let me get this right, when I was, I think, 18, 19, I was going to like an adult university course in Southampton, that was, like I say, I'm 49 now. That was when I was about 18, 19, something like that. And there were no-go areas then. So I'm not going to, sorry about the wind, I'm not going to set you a date or anything, because that would be like advertising my own death. But what I'm thinking is, people have seen Southampton in a bit different light now, but they still see a place that looks so innocent. And I'm thinking, oh, I've been working with someone who basically, it's coming together with them, remembering the routes that I used to use, along with the way things have changed now. I pretty much know some of the worst routes in Southampton now for a lone, for a lone straight white male to walk. However, as I said, it used to be a bit like that in the old days, but not quite what I'm hearing now. So what I'm thinking is, one infrared cam, which will be recording, one live streaming, because live streaming may keep me safe, if you know what I mean. But I'm thinking of going and taking those worst routes on my own, because I think it might be the only way it'll work, through Southampton, and show people what's going on there, whether it be daytime, nighttime, don't know, because there's things going on at both. That's the thing. You might think, oh, nighttime's the scariest time. It is, but it's not necessarily where the most things are happening. So many of the sexual assault cases happen around, guess what, school time, end of work time. So I'm still trying to pick the time now. Nighttime's not a big problem, except you've got to have light in. The infrared camera's different, that'll pick it up, but that won't be live. I'm not going to lie, it's a bit dodgy. I'm not going to lie, it's a bit dodgy if I walk into the wrong people on the wrong night, you know, but that's what I'm hoping the live stream will mitigate. And obviously I'll be wearing some stuff anyway that will keep me safe, but it's not the point, yeah? So it's not a suicide mission or anything like that, and it is certainly not, I'm not going to be jacked up with English flags, I'm not going to be out looking to argue with someone. I want to see, there's no point us believing everything we hear. I want to go, try, see if I can get through these routes unhindered, and what the reception is to me going through these routes. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Bear in mind, many of the routes I've been told not to go down are routes that I was using when I was a kid, and they were safe. So, with that said, yeah, I think that whilst I wouldn't be going with drama in mind, especially if I'm not on my own. Who would be stupid enough to go with drama on their mind when they're on their own? But at the same time, all I'm going to try and do is walk the streets. If I can keep the camera hidden, even more so, simply because, I don't know if I can though, but simply because I don't want to give people an excuse. I want them to, if they're going to pick on me, I'm going to try and make it so they've got to do it because of my skin colour. That's what I will be trying to prove or disprove on the day. Does my skin colour attract attention? If it doesn't, brilliant. That's one thing less to worry about. If it does, well, again, we'll see. But, again, if people have brought up the subject of race and that, and again, I'm not going to go on and on about it, but since people have opened up this can of worms, I know the racism that's been levied towards me and other people like me. Generally speaking, not from ethnic minorities, generally speaking. However, the people in Southampton, hell of a lot of lefties, white or otherwise. I mean, you saw yourself. I was told this a long time ago, and it's true. A lot of black people are actually conservative. There's a lot more conservative black people than people realise. And it's like kind of this idea that all black people on the left is absolute bollocks. Absolute bollocks. You know, this is when black people say they don't want to be turned into a monolith. That's what they mean. You got a few people speaking for them, making out they're all on the left. They're all on Black Lives Matter side. That's not true. Go, 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 go. But there are certain groups of people that I won't name, because again, they're going to have to either out themselves in video or not. But as I said to you, when I was with people like Danny Roscoe, Tommy and other people, these people were would try and use race to attack people. They would try and they were from an ethnic background, and they would try and use race to attack, to sow division, and to threaten. So that's kind of what I'm curious to see now, is the Southampton, like, again, when I did that the last time, years ago, it was already dangerous. I was told I was not welcome. Yeah? As an 18-year-old, which is quite scary. As an 18-year-old, when you've got adults coming up to you in a place that you know, your main city centre, and telling you was. Found out years later it was like a racist name. I didn't know that. I was pretty naive. But again, like I say, the people that used to do that, my understanding is they've been replaced by the actual immigrants themselves. So it'd be interesting to see if people think that it's actually worse, and there's evidence in terms of the numbers, statistics, they show a massively worse picture. But again, the problem is with the statistics these days is, the more and more research I'm doing, the more I realise that there's blind spots in our statistics. And this is because any subject that gets politicised, it's really hard to get real data on. Right, this is not my opinion, this is fact. Because it's like science, for instance. If you're into science and you're independent, then you're going to do the science. If you're being funded by someone who's got a view and they want you to find a certain thing, that you're going to find it, because otherwise your funding's cut. That's when you politicise science. You're not telling scientists to be scientists, you're telling them to go and find this to be true, no matter how you do it. And same with statistics. They're gathered from certain places. There are big blind spots in where they're getting the data from, and it's deliberate. And this is left and right, by the way. So getting statistics on a lot of this stuff is very difficult. And I do appreciate, by the way, that one experience by a person does not represent the whole. But considering this would be a random experiment of me walking to my hometown after years and years and years, after getting that warning all those years ago, be interesting to see what would happen now. Is it worse? Is it better? Let's find out. So I'm thinking this would be probably called Welcome to Southampton 1.5, meaning it will be the middle video. So it won't be like planned like a documentary. It will be a middle video of exploration of Southampton in the most dangerous spots as someone walking by, hopefully, in 2026. And it will be, like I say, rather than being a structured documentary, it'd be a video between videos. And depending on what happens that night, and depending on what other information I find out in the meantime, that may well then lead into Welcome to Southampton Part 2, which I imagine will probably take something between 8 months to a year to film. I'm hoping Vin will help me out on that one, because he's got abilities that will be maybe crucial. But we did speak about doing it before. But obviously, you guys know, with Vin's abilities, it could really make it a good expose, but also keep the safety within the realms of what's necessary. So there's a lot of cool things that could happen there. And also between me and Vin, we sort of know the kind of tech we would need to use as well. So I'm thinking towards the Welcome to Southampton Part 2. You know, 2026, 3 years since the last one was released. My documentary making skills have gone up, but also, more importantly, Southampton's changed. It's worse. And the fight is on over there. And now I've found the Southampton Patriots and what they're up against. You know, I want to help them and support them and go to the hotels and that, but I also want to be doing more than just following the leader, which means I've got to come up with some stuff that I can give to them and give to the people, the public, that isn't just what they're already doing. Because am I offering anything new to what they're doing? Probably not. But if I can offer them a genuine experience that's not been agitated, that's not been you know what I mean? That's a genuine, nobody knows when I'm going to do it, therefore it is a genuine walk through the streets that is not, again, not agitating people. We'll see what I get back. And I honestly do think that might be more useful to offer people like Southampton Patriots and the rest of the country right now. Because that's what people talk about all the time, right? How it's not safe to walk the streets. And don't get me wrong, there are people like Billy Moore and other people that go out there and do these places. Some places they live in, but this is my hometown. So I know a bit more about it. And I know what it was like, and you know what I mean. And even know some of the drunks there and that. And I know that some of them, homeless drunk people, yeah, and they have been displaced. Believe it or not, even the homeless people have been displaced. So I mean, I don't know if I can still find them because they keep moving around to try and avoid this violence. But they are, if I can trace them down, for instance, I think that would be more in the documentary because I think they're going to be not hard to trace down, but it's going to take time. So that's where my mind is at the moment, and I think I'm going to go do it because I don't think it's a stupid idea. My hope, I'll be honest with you, my hope is that I can walk through that whole area and not have a problem, and at least say that okay, but we've at least got that level of safety. But everybody's saying they're so frightened. I want to be able to do one or two things. I want to either be able to show the girls of Southampton, although it's dangerous, maybe you'll be okay if you're in a group of people. Or, if that's not true, then they need to know that too, right? They need to know whatever the truth is. So one walk through Southampton doesn't prove anything categorically. But if it's a random walk, and people don't see the agitation signs, it will give you a dipstick idea of what's going on. And then invites a return. That's my point. It invites a return to do some more serious investigating. First of all, I've got to go fishing to see if there's anything that will pull. I'm not going to go chasing ghosts. But like I say, the evidence is mounting up. The statistics are mounting up. Can we go and see if the reality on the streets matches the statistics? Now, we already know that it does around Hoglands Park in Southampton, where there's been multiple rapes, sexual assaults, everything else. Conviction rate low, arrest rate high. And yeah, the violence and other things that have been going on there. And that's with the Dolphin Hotel that I covered in my 2023 documentary, closed. When me and Vin went for the last one over was it October? It was already closed. So this is Highfield Hotel, places like that are pumping those people out. So my area that I'm in now would be ravaged if it wasn't for the fact that someone cut off the ferry service to my area where they were shipping them out to. I feel it was deliberate, and that's something else I want to look into. There must be someone who knows. Whether they'd be willing to talk, I don't know. But maybe if I can get them to talk, change their voice, do you know what I mean? So they're not actually outing who they are. Maybe someone can tell me what's going on. Because you can't tell me it's coincidence, right? That there was all these hotels in Southampton. Right, there was three that I knew of. The Ibiz, is that how you pronounce it? The Highfield Hotel and the Dolphin Hotel, right? And then they started pumping people out on this convenient little ferry over to the New Forest, right? And also on my local beach, which I showed you for 4 years in a row, I think maybe even 5, you could see all the Muslims taken over up the top there. And they had taken over. And on the beach, there was Mustafa, all on their mobile phones doing whatever deals they were doing. And then, so I went down the next year to see how much worse it had got. And they were gone. But not only they'd gone, what was in their place was poppies, war memorials, the place where they used to take up the whole area. You could rent it, right? The place where they took up the whole area has been levelled to the ground, razed to the ground. And in its place, a World War II assault course for kids has been put in its place. So not just something else, but something completely contradicting what they would go against. And like I say, there's been a mass flourish of poppies and everything down there. You can't tell me that's a mistake. So the ferry that shipped them over just happens to stop working and hasn't worked since. Nobody's in a rush to get it fixed. It's been out of action now nearly a year. Just as they were pumping them over. Just up the road from me, you've seen me film up there before. The shops and everything else up there. Again, they're full of poppies. Some of them all year round. Some of them, obviously just at the time, some of them all year round. That's the council. That's not people going off their own back and doing it. That's the council. So someone within the council. I want to know who. Because in Southampton, I think it's a slightly different council than here. And they're having all kinds of murders over there. Trying to fight for this stuff. Like, trying to buy a poppy. I remember going to London for an event. big event, big demo, big event. And I went to London, and I didn't buy a poppy deliberately because I thought London would be the best place to get a poppy. I got in London, I couldn't find a poppy anywhere. Not anywhere. And it was around that time of year. I could not find one anywhere. Around here, in every shop. So, something happened to prevent them coming over. And it doesn't seem like an accident or a twist of fate. Because in the place where they were, literal World War II memorials, poppies, everything else. It feels like someone deliberately blocked them. So it's something else I want to look into. Is there someone on our side inside the councils? I don't know. It certainly feels that way. And the biggest thing is to split up Southampton into council areas, because this is the biggest problem. So like I say, you've got New Forest, you've got Isle of Wight, you've got Southampton, you've got Bournemouth, you've got... And they're some of them are different counties. Some are considered to be the same county. Who runs certain places is very, very mixed around here. So it's very difficult for the average person, until you've had a proper look, to know who represents your area. Even voting, believe it or not, you're right on the edge often of a voting area or another one. So you could go and end up putting the wrong vote in. So you've got to be really careful where I am to make sure you're in the right voting area, because you are literally always on a border somewhere. So I think I'm going to go into Southampton. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get some more advice from some people that are there all the time. But I think I'll be all right. But I don't know what happened. But I do think I'll get stopped. I do think I'll get stopped. Where it goes, no, I don't know. But like I say, if I can walk through it unmolested, that's great. I mean, I'm not a woman, but it's a start. But whatever we see, whatever we film, it may or may not be the perfect reason for Welcome to Southampton Part 2, or it may be the other reasons, that I've mentioned. But I think it would be my sort of test for Welcome to Southampton Part 2. But we already know Southampton's worse anyway, but it's also just to test out just how bad things have got around certain times of day. I need to check the times of the day, though, because what people don't realise, like when I was in Telford doing the Rape of Britain, people assume a lot of things, actually. These people are not up at 9 running their businesses from 9 to 5. That's something to understand. They're still keeping Middle Eastern time. A lot of them won't open their businesses till 11, 12 o'clock at night. They're running all night, and they close at whatever time in the morning. This is very, very common for Muslim and other ethnic businesses, because they keep their own time, and they are there for their own customers. Their choice, and not me saying that. When I say their own, that's not me being racist or against religion. That's deliberately what they're there for. Their own people. They're not interested in you or I. They're absolutely not interested, not unless you're a woman under the age. But other than that, they're not interested. So, so these businesses open up in the middle of the night, and you make your own mind up what that means. And I've seen it in Telford. And it was an eye-opener for me. Because you would at least assume they would stick to business hours, right? Because that's when you make your money. No. The business hours are when they say they are. And the business hours for those particular set of businesses are, I can't tell you the exact hours, but they're late, too early. And the daytime, F you. So that's why I'm thinking I need to get the time of day exactly right. Because if it's the same in Southampton, which I've got to go and find out about, if it's the same in Southampton, that's the times that they will be keeping. So I need to find out the differences between Southampton and Telford on this level. But I think this is something important to do. And like I say, definitely some groundwork needed for Welcome to Southampton Part 2. Let me just have a look through your comments and catch up with you guys. I don't know how long I've got. Oh, we're okay for a minute, but not too long. How we doing, guys? Hello, everybody. Hello, Craig. Hello, Steve. Good to see you, mate. A bus ride or a nightmare away, or a swim. Kelly Powell, great to see you. Gary, good to see you, mate. Jesus is Lord, great, mate. Good to see you. Hey, Dave, great to see you, buddy. Yeah, please do, as Steve said, please like, subscribe, make sure you're in live chat, not top chat, otherwise you'll get your, a lot of your comments will disappear. Capricorn, great to see you, as always. Sorry, just going through. Trying to catch up. Oh, it's I see. So low for PM, Zydeco. Is that how you pronounce it, Zydeco? Oh man, I loved your last one, but cool. I remember it's you. I remember it's you. Is that Dave's that addressed to me or someone else? I understand the temptation, but that would mean you're all stuck there, so that can't be me, no? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. Again, remember, I don't get all the comments come through on this chat. I get about a third of them-ish, maybe a bit more. Yeah, I'm definitely missing comments. If anybody knows of anybody in Southampton that I might not know of who is approachable, if you know anybody, this is zeronews@gmail.com. Please don't do anything publicly. Don't dox anyone. Don't do anything like that. But this is zeronews@gmail.com. Like I say, I live down here, so it's not a big deal for me to go and meet someone, talk to someone, whatever else. So yeah. So if anybody has got if any of the Southampton Patriots are watching this, if anybody's got any information they think would help, it would be great, you know. According to so is that credential commentary? According to Pew Research Institute, Islam is 2 billion strong and still the fastest growing religion in the world. So this is the thing about religious numbers. If you look at the religious numbers, they don't add up. So I think Catholicism claims about 3 million people. They claim, what was it you're saying, 2 million there? I've seen different numbers. They all claim these numbers, but this they don't take off people who have left. They don't take off a lot of people, actually, and a lot are assumed to be the numbers they say. If you add up all the numbers of what the religions say they've got, it adds up to about 15 million, which there aren't 15 million people on the planet. But it is known that it's the fastest growing religion in Britain. But on my belief on part of that, other than the fact that they're ramming it down people's throats, is also because, say America, back in 2023, America had, when they had a poll, I think it was, again, you got to watch the poll numbers though, because they're politicized, but it was something like 55% of people were outward Christians in America. The big difference with Britain was we were down to 17% of people in the same year. So we were pretty much mostly secular. And that's what people won't accept. So yeah, we're mostly secular. But the problem is, historically, when countries lose their religion, instead of prospering, they tend to adopt a new one or a cult. And that's what happens. So as much as I hate to admit it, the withdrawal of Christianity has left a hole, and Islam's filling it. I saw a woman this morning, Scottish, with a full hijab on, claiming that Islam had nothing but women's rights at its heart. Like that woman is complicit in setting women's rights back. She's Scottish. She should know better. Yeah, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for her. She's not been brought up in a brainwashed country where women are brainwashed like that. She's deciding for the people in the Middle East. It's great. It's great. You can put in the contract before you get married, if you don't want your husband to have more than one wife. Oh, how big of him? How big of him? And what happens if he wants it anyway? He'll just kill you. It's just insane. But that's what they're doing. That is exactly what they're doing. So I wish I'd shared it with you now. Proper full-on Scottish accent, proper full-on Scot, like I say, completely covered up, making out it was the best thing since sliced bread, and women love it. But of course, she has a choice. She has a choice, and she's somebody who obviously has never stood out in a crowd and wants to. So the only way she can is by dressing like a cunt and pretending to believe in things that she can afford to believe in, because she doesn't live in those countries where she get raped and stoned and everything else, where she can get raped by one guy and then killed by her husband for being unfaithful. So it's easy to talk the way she's talking when you don't have to live in the countries where you're a victim of it. So people like her I've got more disgust for than anybody else, because she is condemning the lots of other women to ignorance and virtual slavery, knocking women's rights back God knows how many years. She's got the choice. Again, she's got the choice to take that hijab off tomorrow. If it feels a bit uncomfortable, if it bothers her, she's got a choice to take it off. A lot of people don't ever get that fucking choice. She's a scumbag for doing it. Just catching up. No, Tom, not you. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm missing so many comments on here. Thanks, Craig. No, I didn't say there was 15 billion. You misheard me. I said if you add up all... This annoys me when people don't listen properly, right? It annoys me when people don't listen properly. Right, to that person, right? Because you're making me out to be an idiot, even though I know that wasn't your intention, but you're making me out to be an idiot, doesn't know what he's talking about. So let me correct you. It's on the video. So you said there's 8 billion, not 15 billion. What was my exact words? If you add up all of the religions together, the amount of people they claim are joined to their religion, it would add up to about 15 million. But there's only 8 million people on the planet, so the numbers don't add up. That was what I said. That was what I said. Okay? So don't say I said there was 15 million, because I didn't. I made it very fucking clear. Fuck's sake. I don't mind the criticism, but I clearly stated it. Just, if people don't want to listen, that's fine, but then don't make the statements. Hang on a second. Catching. And the other thing as well, about this population stuff, have you been seeing this population stuff? You know, they kept warning us. Again, has this been another scam? They were warning us we were going to get overpopulated and that the world was going to break because of it. It was going to be an unsustainable population growth that would just continue to spiral and spiral. They've said the same thing about many other things, by the way, that have always ended up to be false, whether it be to do with money, food, crops, whatever else. They've always been wrong. Fossil fuels, you name it. Fossil fuels weren't supposed to exist by this date. And the other big thing that they said was that population was going to hit a terminal velocity and that we wouldn't be able to sustain it. Now, all of the most prominent scientists believe we're going to top out around 11 billion, something around that number. And then we're going to hit a major obstacle. And that is that, one, people have stopped having babies. Two, we're going to start losing people at a faster rate than we can replace them. So there's actually more concern now of a population decline than there is of a population overgrowth. But I still see people pushing the narrative of overpopulation. I don't mean in this country, because this country is overpopulated. I'm talking about the world as the way they were forecasting it. They got it wrong again, and now they're pretty sure it's going to top out, which is obvious when you think about it. You can only get so many people being born before the amount of people dying catches up, yeah? country cannot be religious. It can if it doesn't. It can if it doesn't separate church and state. That's the only thing I will say. But us and the Americans, separate church and state. That is true. There's a lot of people leaving Islam. That's the point that doesn't get raised. How many people are leaving it? And why more people don't leave it, by the way. Why more people don't speak out against it. More people don't leave it because you're an apostate. An apostate is punishable by death. If you speak out against it, you will get threatened, potentially harmed or injured or killed by fellow Muslims. So even like, there's a few people that have bravely gone out there, like Ayaan Hirsi Ali. And she's gone out there with all the shit she's been through and spoke up against it. But a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are afraid. That's where Share the Risk came from. It was an attempt to try and at least get people like the Muslims that knew it was wrong to stand up, but they won't. They won't, partly through fear and partly because, unfortunately, they believe that book is perfect. Not all of them, but a lot. Why can't we have more than one wife? Saves cheating. I suppose that's a way around the problem, isn't it? I suppose that's a way around the problem. Oh, that's funny as fuck. How do you know it's fastest growing? What metric is being used? How do you get the information? Oh, I see, you're sending it to that person. Well, I can't speak for that person in terms of fastest growing religion in the world. I don't know where they got that from. The fastest growing religion in Britain, it has been, again, I need to check for 2026 because it's still early. But for, I think, the years 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, I think it was the fastest growing religion in Britain from multiple sources. But Britain's not the world. I think there'll be a lot of apostasy coming as well. Not only that, but do you not see the mistake that's being made? So Saudi and everybody else are trying to buy us out, right? And they are. They're buying our sports, they're buying everything else. But do you not see the feedback loop that happens here? They want to be like us in their own way. They would never admit it, but they do. And I see a feedback loop, which is they're trying to assimilate our culture. And they may end up finding themselves assimilated. Because the people are going to find themselves, I think, much more gravitated towards the type of life that we've got to the type of life they've got. Hence why everybody wants to come here for their freedoms. Hence why the first things they've started building in places like Saudi Arabia and that are fucking McDonald's and Starbucks coffee. They want a piece of this. And it's kind of like, reminds me of a Star Trek episode, you know, the Borg assimilating everybody and then getting a code that actually ends up assimilating them. It makes me think that they may be playing a game they don't realise is dangerous, and that is subjecting them and their people to our culture may actually make them think, fuck me, I want a piece of that. Look how many people are coming here now to try and get a piece of it. Some people want to tear it down, other people don't. They know where no matter what they say in public, they know where their bread's buttered. Absolutely, Steve, with those women, yeah. They're setting women's rights back so far. It's crazy. In the last few years, Iran, 50,000 out of 75,000 mosques closed. That was before trouble broke out. That's interesting. Iran isn't like Afghanistan. No, it's not. Oh. Why do you keep putting the same thing in about Islam? It doesn't make it more right the second time you put it in. Or is it my fault? Have I gone over that twice? If it's my fault, I apologise. It's rubbish, Tom. Ah, okay. Yeah, because that looked like a bot thing. Whose source with whose claims? Credential, hang on a minute. You come on here, you make claims without backing, and then ask people on here to back up their claims. You got a fucking nerve, mate. You come on here and you back up your claims, and then people may feel the need to back up theirs. But as you're a fucking nobody that everybody on this channel doesn't know, and is considers you to, I can see from their comments, considers you to be not an honest broker, I think the burden of proof is on you. If you make a claim, the burden of proof is on you to back it up. You came on here and made a claim, not the other way round. Catch you later, buddy. Well, it's not insignificant for me in terms of Islam and stuff like that, because that's the reason I brought all this up is because I'm going. Oh, my device is getting hot. It's because I'm going to Southampton to look for some of these problems. So it's not irrelevant to us, because we've got a lot of it. Oh, hang on a second. We've got Islamists in the country. You know this. Or again, I've got a feeling maybe you're not talking to me, and I've got wrong end of the stick again. This fucking chat is doing my nut in. It's this chat, isn't it? I'm not seeing everything, am I? Sorry, guys. And by the way, you don't need to put in capital letters every time. People can read what you say. They're not fucking stupid. Hi there, is that... So, God, how am I supposed to say that? Is that Viva Moldova? Oh, I got it. Viva Moldova. Good to see. Good to see you. I'll say it again, bro. Say what again? Say what again? Frank? Is that Frank? Good to see you, Frank. Miss Bunny too. Are you on top chat, buddy? No. Oh, but good call. Everybody on the channel needs to be off of top chat and on live chat. No, what it is, Miss Bunny, is on my sorry, on the recording software I'm using right now. And this is since YouTube have stopped working with people like StreamYard, everybody, what was it, Rumble, everybody. They've stopped working with everybody. They won't let them work with them anymore. So we don't get a choice over when I broadcast from a studio, we get given top chat. Even though we're the creators, we get given top chat. So we don't have a choice in what we see. So I get, again, about a third of the chat come through. Very frustrating. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes if I'm in a better position, if I've got two phones on me, or if I've got the computer on, I can look at the chat on YouTube. But it's shit to have to do that, you know? It really sucks. It is bloody stupid, yeah. And do you know what? These things used to be solvable. So, you probably remember, Miss Bunny, right? You used to be able to go to Rumble and it would download all of your YouTube videos. So you'd be able to have an identical channel on Rumble and then upload to that from there. Same with Odyssey. Same with BitChute. YouTube took that ability away. Rumble, they never told Rumble and anybody else why. They never told them they would or wouldn't fix it. And they just left it like it. And Rumble have been asking them, other people have been asking them, well, when are you going to work with us again? YouTube are like, we're bigger than Netflix now. We don't need to work with you. Fuck you. So this is what they're doing. But why they wouldn't fix the top chat problem with these programs is beyond me. It's beyond me. I'm the creator. So surely I'm going to want to see all of my comments, even if that's just for moderation purposes. So it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know if it's laziness, because there's no point censoring the comments from the creator, is there? I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it is, but it's stupid. You're right. Absolutely right. My phone is overheating, guys. Samsung S24s are the worst phone I have bought from the Samsung series. Samsung S25, Samsung S22, perfect. This phone is the second one I've had. It sucks. I hate the Samsung S24 with a passion. Underpowered, first day iPhone they try to bring out, completely trashes every task I ask it. That one there, perfect. Anyway, just trying to catch up. I don't get triggered, I get passionate. There's a difference. Sometimes it's good to expose the... Oh, fuck, I hate this chat on here. The bot minions to real questions. Yes, you're right. You will not change the bot, but the others are watching. Absolutely. Please don't get triggered. About what? If it's about the fucking saying that I said something I didn't, well, you know, and don't ban you. Well, don't do anything to get banned. That's simple. Don't do anything to get banned, and you'll be fine. Look at my community rules. Don't be a dick, or don't be a twat. I think it is. Old school rules apply, which is don't spam, don't harass, don't bully, don't say anything that get the channel taken down, and common sense. Those are the rules of the channel. Like, you can abuse me if you want, like, as long as you don't abuse other users on here, as long as you don't bully or do coordinated attacks or spam or take the conversation away or whatever else, or, you know, those are the rules. But to be very clear, if anybody's ever got a problem with anything, you can contact me, and this is zeronews@gmail.com. But also understand, my mods have got my full faith, which means you're welcome to write to me. And if you think you've been unfairly dismissed, sometimes that happens. And I would always talk to my mods about it. And if we think we've made a mistake, we would put you back on, no problem. But yeah, they've got my full support. So if they think something's wrong, they'll do something. But it's only going to happen if someone's really pushing it. We're not great believers in deleting people, but at the same time, I don't have free speech on my own channel. YouTube does not provide me with free speech, and as you can see by the chat, I don't even get to see all the chat. I can't have free speech. I can't offer it. But what I can tell you is that a lot of the shit that people pull on here can get the channel taken down. We don't have to tolerate you. Why? Because you can go and open your own channel and have all the same opinions. So I've got no problem with someone criticising, having a different opinion. That's all cool. That's all totally cool. The rules are really simple. We don't get free speech on here, mate. If you want free speech, that's why you have a YouTube channel to open up for yourself. That's where your free speech lies. So just be clear on that. Yeah, we've all got our own ability to create a channel on YouTube for our free speech. I start offering you unlimited free speech on my channel that even I don't have. You start saying certain words to get my channel taken down. Yeah, free speech and all that. Well, you open your channel, we'll go and have free speech on your channel. You know? Yeah, I'm absolutely a believer in free speech, but we don't have it on here. They literally, YouTube, delete my comments. I'm the fucking creator. I'm supposed to have control over that. If I write a comment to you that they don't like, it disappears. It disappears. They take my comments away. I'm not allowed to have any say on my own channel anymore. It's changed so much. I don't think people realise how much it's changed. So we don't really have that. I used to always, on my YouTube channel, I always used to say, if you come here, you've got free speech. It's just not the same anymore. You agree, as a creator, you should be able to see everything. Yeah, you should be able to. He's not triggered with his fingers on it. I love that. Warning to anyone else, if I time someone out, don't ever try freedom of speech shit and it won't end well for you. Yeah. You have your own channel for freedom of speech. The rules aren't, look, I'm going to explain this one more time. And then whatever happens from there is on your head. We can't employ full free speech on here anyway, because Google won't allow it. What we do is we try and I let people say horrible things to me. I let people make arguments. I let people debate. I let people do all kinds of stuff. There's not a load of things you can get thrown off for. Aggravating the mods deliberately. Spamming, as I said, old school rules. Spamming, harassing, bullying, using words you know will get the channel taken down. Stuff like that is what will get you thrown off. That's it. That's it. It's not a big, great load of rules, is it? So I don't really think we need to go on and on and on about it. Fuck YouTube. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. No, you've not been deleted, Capricorn. At least not from here. If you talk about certain subject, YouTube would shadow ban as well for a certain period of time. That's true. That's true. Look, I had to open this channel. I had a 20k channel, guys. I had a 20,000 channel, and YouTube couldn't get. So YouTube tried to get me on certain videos, and those videos they tried to connect to organised crime. What they didn't realise was I shot those videos, part of the Rape of Britain. So I got hold of them and said I was the cameraman. Unless you're prepared to link me to organised crime, I think you need to rethink this. So they backed down and apologised to me and reinstated my videos. 2 weeks later, they took my whole channel. No, sorry, they demonetised my whole channel and took it down for a limited period of time. And I've shadow banned it ever since. That was a 20k channel because they couldn't get one video. So they instead branded the whole channel a hate channel. I didn't even know they could do that. So they couldn't get me on a single video because I knew how to play the YouTube rules. So they just branded the whole channel a rape channel, hate channel. A lot of it was about that kind of subject, why I say that. And so their only thing that they would agree with me was to delete all of the videos off of that channel, which I refused to do. So yeah, that's how we're in this situation we're in. Yeah, it doesn't mean exactly. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence. Absolutely, there's consequence to everything we do in life, cause and effect. And free speech also doesn't mean compelled speech. So, for instance, if you say, I demand my free speech on your channel, well, you've just said the magic words, my channel. So that's not free speech, that's compelled speech. Because what you're trying to say is, I demand you have a conversation with me even if you're not interested in having a conversation with me. So from your side you may think it's free speech, but what does that make it from my side? I've been bullied into speaking. That's compelled speech. That's not free speech, that's compelled speech. So if everybody decided they had a right to free speech on my channel, and then I had an audience of 20k like I did last time, what if 20,000 people decided at the same time they wanted their free speech at the same time? It's fucking ludicrous. Now, if there was some special handshake or fee or something like that I had to pay in order to have this channel, I'd understand it. But we can all create channels. And we can all put our own relatively speaking, free speech, as far as YouTube will let us go, on our own channels. You can leave comments on here. You can say pretty much what you want. So, what more can be offered, especially with the rules that we're under? I think I've said as much as I can say. That's true. I have, Steve. Yeah, banning the country's flag, exactly. We invented the technology. I don't know who. Sorry, I think I'm losing, again, part of the conversation here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to answer everything, but it's hiding so much from me. Steve, I tried X for a day, then stopped me posting. Oh, asked me to retry it. That's weird. See, I'm actually withdrawing from X. I feel like to be a success on X, you've got to be a constant reposter, reposting other people's stuff. I'm a broadcaster. I don't want to do a follow for a follow, because that's a whorish Facebook way of doing it. There's nothing wrong with it if your aim is to get lots of people on your list, but if you're a broadcaster, you want it to look like I'm only subbed to say 50 people, but I've got 20,000 people subbed to me. That shows a clear pattern of direction. So with X, it seems like a different thing, and so I'm kind of pulling away from X. The Getter crowd, thank you Getter, by the way, seems to get it. We're heading towards 1,500 people there now. I think we're going to hit 2,000 before long, and we keep going on there. So I'm withdrawing away from X, and I'm putting my effort into YouTube and Getter at the moment. And the original releases that I can't do on here, I'll make sure of it, as in the ones that are too sensitive, will be too sensitive for YouTube. I will make sure that you guys get to see either a censored version on here or a link to one that's uncensored with any videos that I do. So there'll always be a way out. I know some of you don't like leaving YouTube, so I'll probably do censored versions for YouTube. But the idea is that one day YouTube monetizes me for the adverts, and they pay They pay for the tools I need to make the documentaries that I then have to put out on other platforms if they don't let me. So that's on them, isn't it? If they don't want me to release those videos onto this platform with the money I've made from this platform, that's fine. That's fine. I'll release it elsewhere. So, you know, it's their choice. It's their choice. It's all advertising. It's all they're worried about is advertisers. Get this, someone called VSB a traitor this morning, so I looked at the guy up and he was 34 videos but only 5 subs. Yeah, it's usually the case. Don't get me wrong, I understand not everyone has the time to run a YouTube channel. Not everyone feels comfortable in front of the camera. Not everyone likes the sound of their own voice. I get it. But at the same time, you do have that space to go and have your own free speech. And the reason Steve mentions that, by the way, is because a lot of people will come on and say, oh, you're doing this wrong with your podcast, you're doing that wrong, all you've got to do is hold your camera and shoot. They make all these silly comments. I think that's what Steve's referring to. And you think, and what it makes you think is, Jesus, they must be really good at this. And then you go and click on their name, they've done fuck all. A grand total of fuck all for their cause, for their movement, for their beliefs. And usually it says, account set up 2026, late 2025. It's just an account they go on to take out their pessimistic, cynical view on the rest of the world. And that's why I call them out for how many videos they've made or how many subs they got. It's not about a competition with them. It's calling them out for, you think you know it better and you haven't even got anything to show for it. And yet you want me to have the burden of proof. You know what I mean? Yeah, oh, thank you for that. I love your rules. I like that. But they're just common sense, right? You know, I see these. I remember. Do you know why I made my rules like that? Because I remember going on Facebook, and they'd have such stupid rules. I don't mean Facebook itself. The groups on Facebook. Don't be negative. Don't. It would just say don't, and you'd have about, I don't know, 20 plus things that you couldn't do. And you see, this is fucking ridiculous. You're trying to control people's thoughts, behaviour, patterns. It's not what we're about. So the rules, don't be a twat. Use common sense. Old school rules. That's you know, I feel like for the average adult, that's all they need to be asked. And again, asked. Asked is the appropriate thing. Not told, like children. Asked. Please could you adhere to these rules? You know? And there we go. And I think then most people have like your opinion. They see that as being reasonable. So most people will function within those reasonable rules. So the ones that you don't, you already know are quite prepared to be unreasonable. So that's kind of why I do the rules the way I do. So I really appreciate you picking up on that. Thank you. It's the same flag, just with the 4 clans in each corner. So that's why I just use flag instead. Yeah. Do you know what? It's fine. It's fine, right? Because a lot of people moan about who uses what flag. I'm very simplistic and sometimes even wrong, but I use both flags for different things. Sorry about that. But what I don't understand people's obsession with going, oh, you're using the wrong flag. You're using the wrong flag. You know, and you've probably had that. And I'm just like, oh, come on. Look, if people want to, yeah, I don't ever want to get into it. We know what our flags are, and for me, I realise that the history of that, but it's more for some people the religious belief that goes with it. For me, it's just become representative of England. You know, that doesn't mean I'm a xenophobe when it comes to Wales, Ireland, Scotland, or anything else. I don't want anybody thinking that. But I'm in England. The way I looked at it, I'm English first, British second. I know that's probably not the correct way of saying it. I don't give a shit. That's in my head. I'm English first, British second. But that doesn't mean that Britishness means anything less to me. It means a lot to me. So yeah. But you'll always have someone that will come in and, not you, but you'll always have someone that will come in and pick on the order that I've done it in, or what the exact name I gave to this exact flag, like it matters that much. And they're just trying to be more patriotic than you. But we're already on a patriotic side of the movement. It's pathetic. It's one-upping each other when we've got massive fights to fight against the left. See? But there you go. That's people for you. Let me just grab my glasses. But I feel like I should probably bring this to a close because I've got off the subject, haven't I, guys? But it's nice to have a chat with you, though, if I'm honest. Just wish I could see all the comments. Next time I've got... Actually, do you know what? As it's getting warmer, the bunker's getting warmer. So I think next time, if I do something that starts off as a walk and talk, I'll have the laptop waiting there. So I could... In the bunker, I mean. So I can just go around the back, go straight to the bunker, and then I can see all your comments, because this is frustrating. And the other thing as well, it's caused me to take people wrong in the past, have an argument with them, and then realise that we were on different tracks. And I don't want to have accidental arguments with people. But what I will say, and I'm going to say what I said the other day, is that I appreciate all of the support that's going behind Rupert, and I'm there. I feel it. But please, like I said, on my channel at least, let's not do this. Anybody that doesn't vote for Rupert, it's the traitor stuff, because those votes, in my mind at least, are sacred. Everybody goes and makes their own vote, and I don't want to be like that. And especially as you don't know what happens in politics in a year. Like, you just don't know. So much can happen. So, I don't want to be all tribal like that. I want to be a whore. Meaning, whoever's got the right policies at the right time at the election. Because I'm more worried about us, our people, than I am a politician at the moment. Rupert Lowe, don't get me wrong, I'm excited. He's doing great. Absolutely brilliant at the moment. He's the guy I'd vote for. But there's a long time to go. So let's see. What did you agree with, Capricorn? I'm trying to remember what I said now. Shit. I'm trying to remember what I said. Well, thank you for agreeing anyway. I appreciate it. Would rather have a vacuum than be filled with his and miss. See you later. Excellent, Craig. Right, have a great day, Capricorn. Great to have you on again. Silent Matthew Roberts. How come you got the silent at the beginning of your name? That's cool. Hey, Joanna. Not got his party registered yet. Okay. I still think there's parts of this I'm not seeing. Yeah, there is. There's definitely is. I'm seeing bit parts. It's very frustrating. Right, I'm going to fix this. This is next. So I'm fixing things gradually as I'm coming across them. I'm trying to make a big decision at the moment about StreamYard. It's expensive, and I don't have the time to learn OBS. So I'm like, I'm thinking about it. It's only because they brought out the app on the phone, which means that you could use it on the phone before, but it means it's actually designed to work on the phone and the computer now. But it's expensive, so I'm thinking about it. I haven't made my mind up because it is a bit of an outlay, but it means I would stop using Prism, so that's £9 towards it. So I'm thinking about it. It's just a big monthly outlay, especially when I don't do that many interviews at the moment. So I'm thinking about it. I don't like StreamYard anyway. It's overpriced. We'll see what happens. But it would solve some problems. Although I still think StreamYard only gives you the top chat, if I'm right. But I'll have to have a look into that. Whatever happens, we will try and get things better anyway. That's my main concern at the moment. Between now and when I start doing the going out places, which is coming soon, I want to get these things fixed so that they're not even in my headspace anymore. Do you deliver? Right, I'm off, I think. Long story. Fair enough. Right. Well, thank you all so much for coming on. Thank you all for giving me a chance. I know some of my podcasts aren't going to knock it out of the park as well as other ones. up, down, depends on the subject, depending on what's going on. But I really appreciate the interaction today, the to and fro. And again, the only thing I regret is that I can't see the 2/3 of the chat that I'm missing. So we'll fix that so I can get properly into conversation with you. And like I say, let me have a think about the StreamYard thing, because that would be so easy just to go, come on now. Do you know what I mean? And that would make it a really, I think that would finish off. So when I do those walk and talks, I think it would finish it off nicely to be able to chat with you sometimes. So let's see what happens. But for now, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Dave, for modding again. And thank you, everybody else, for coming on. I really do appreciate you coming on. Whether you agree, whether you disagree, that's all cool. That's all welcome. Thanks very much. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News, and I'm calling it a day for now.